Welcome in here, race fans, back to the Bristol Motor Speedway. This time it's going to be a new family night, members, on the racetrack. It's going to be the 14 and up guys out there. Once again, though, it is Muth up here in the booth with Mr. Chris Lagu. And Chris, this one's shaking up to be a good one. We're sitting here watching these lap times. These drivers are really tearing this last great Coliseum apart tonight.
Yeah, we're looking at times, Roger, of 17.7s, 17.8s. These guys are definitely just a little bit quicker than maybe their younger counterparts here, and I think it's going to show during the race.
Yeah, right now it's a similar paint scheme out there, the three of Snare. You know, we just saw that same car out there, just with a different number, a different driver. Maybe this time for the Snare family, race number 2 may be a little bit better. A couple newcomers out there. Cameron Littleton, one of the new drivers tonight. He is out there roaming around the track. Right now, he is sitting third quickest on the timing and scoring tonight, Chris. So it's good to see a new driver out there on track.
Yeah, and Cue Ball Cox, he says, you know what? I'm ready to go. I'm sitting on pit road. A 17.856 around Bristol. Roger, that is not bad time. It's definitely race ready to go.
Yeah, we were talking about that before we went here to the live session. A lot of these guys, you and I have both drove Legends around this speedway, and 17.7 seconds is our quick time. You and I couldn't get out of the 18s.
I know. These kids are really tearing it up. And, man, I am looking forward to this. I want to thank everybody once again for coming out to the Turn 3 Racing Network here again for family night on a Saturday night. Roger Muth and Chris Lagu up in the booth getting ready to go. Once again, we've got about 2 minutes ready before qualifying, Roger. And, man, I'm telling you, these kids, they are turning it up.
Yeah, they're turning it up, and I know exactly what kids like, Chris. They like flyovers, and what do you say we throw it back to the good old national anthem here. We'll be right back here for race number 2 for Family Night, presented by Evidence-Based Mommy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back here, race fans. Practice session just wrapping up at Bristol. 6 drivers have taken a time. 6 drivers are registered here for race number 2. And Snare was at the top of the board. Medford was second. So we'll have to see if those 2 drivers will be able to back up their practice times here in our qualifying session.
And that's a lot of it, Roger. So practice is practice, but racing conditions are something totally different. Getting ready to qualify here once again from Bristol, and the significant others are sitting in the back corner waiting to go for their race coming up next here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Racing for a Cause, bringing you family night here on a Saturday night, brought to you by Evidence-Based Mommy.
Yeah, one of the drivers from last week out there on track here early with a brand new paint scheme. That's going to be Dylan Greenaway. Dylan won the first ever family night for the children, and he is back here, bumped up into the next age group. He's only a 13-year-old, racing in the 14-year-olds and up category tonight, seeing if he can defend his, well, we're called a title from last week.
Yeah, absolutely. And, last weekend, he did dominate that race. Dylan Greenaway, way better a driver than his father, Rick Greenaway.
Whoa, Chris, you can't say that. He's right below us here in TeamSpeak, and he is definitely listening in on this conversation. We're going to skip the track, and look at this. RJ Hancock wasn't here last week in the all-white number 4 with the flames on the side. He is the first one into the 17.88 second bracket. He is now joined by the 83 in that same bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. Times are changing. Dylan Greenaway right now, third spot, 18:062 is his time. And we've got, he's been bumped down to fourth spot. Hannah Mefford taking it over a 17:945.
And snared back to the point here in his STP number 3 legend. He is at the top of the board with a 17.729. So it looks like we have one more driver coming out onto the track, and it's going to be Cameron Littleton in the Hot Wheels sponsor number 80. And, well, I'm expecting big things out of this Hot Wheels car with a paint scheme that bright and ambitious, Chris. I think he's going to set fast time here on lap number 1.
Well, I'll tell you what, Roger, it's been a long time since I played with Hot Wheels, but man, what a paint job that is. These guys are really taking this serious, and I absolutely love it. I think this is a great thing for the kids, both young and middle-aged, to get involved in here while we're under this little stay-at-home order and whatever. This pandemic really is letting these kids out here and showing their stuff here at Bristol. I can't wait for the Significant Others race later on here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
That's just a little bit later. Right now it is the 14 years and older category. Littleton a little bit slower on his second lap. That's going to hand the pole officially to the 3 STP by Snare here tonight. Littleton is going to fall into second. Hancock is fourth. Medford sitting there fifth. Greenaway will be fifth. And Cox will be in the 6th position. You do see Samantha Radford joined as a driver. Well, she's just peeking in here over the shoulder.
Yeah, Samantha Radford is Evidence-Based Mommy, so she's watching in along with her husband Troy, watching everything that's going on. Speaking of Troy Radford, I want to thank Troy Radford for setting this up here. This has been a lot of fun, Roger, the last couple of weeks, getting ready to go again here from Bristol.
Yeah, the thing that's been on everybody's mind this week is, will the 15 machine be able to repeat what he did last week? It's been the talk of the town all through the Racing for a Cause pages. And you know what I did see? I did see he received his Turn 3 racing shirt for winning the inaugural kids race here for family night.
Oh, I did too, Roger. And I'll tell you, man, what a good looking shirt that is. Not to be partial or anything like that, but Turn 3 Racing Network shirt still for sale. Got a limited quantity right now, ready to go. If you're looking for a Turn 3 Racing Network shirt, contact Roger Muth over Facebook and get your Turn 3 Racing Network shirt now, because we are quickly running out of stock on that, Roger.
Yeah, we're slowly, working the details with our vendor for a second order. It's just this pandemic is really throwing a hamper or a damper kind of on that, so we don't know when we will get our next shipment of shirts, or if we will. We also have still our limited time koozies available. Those are also in a limited stock, and unfortunately our Turn 3 stickers are sold out, Chris, but there's a good looking handsome fellow. We do still have some of his stickers.
Absolutely, and we are ready to go for this event. About 9 seconds left here of qualifying. Of course, qualifying is done. We have our field set, Roger, and we're getting ready to take it through the grid.
Yeah, qualifying will officially run out here for these kids 14 and up tonight. And we will take you through your starting lineup for the 25-lap event here tonight. Chris, what do you say? You take us through that Evidence-Based Mommy starting lineup.
Absolutely. We've got on row number 1, the 3 car of Michael Snare. 2 is outside. It's the number 80 of Cameron Little. Starting inside row number 2, it's RJ Hancock into his outside, Hannah Mefford in the 83. Starting inside row number 3, last week's winner, Dylan Greenaway, Cue Ball Cox. She's starting in row number 3 on the outside. And that is going to be your run here for tonight. As Samantha had, she's waiting for next race. I don't even know why she joined this one.
Well, look, a unicorn over there, Chris. But that's the starting lineup here for race number 2 for Family Night, presented by the Evidence-Based Mommy. All 6 drivers have taken to the grid here, just waiting so the pace car can pull away. You hear everybody so excited, already revving the motors here. These little motorcycle motors are going to spin right around the 9,000 RPMs, I believe it is, and they are going to scream around this last great Coliseum in Tennessee. Bristol, Tennessee, that is.
No cautions here tonight for the older kids. No yellow flags, no damage as we get ready to roll. Just waiting on that Ford Mustang, Roger, to get going. Got to put it in drive and go.
Yeah, it's a Ford, Chris. You have to understand.
Hold on now. That's not right.
Hey, my Chevy
don't
has
knock-
no problem going to the levee.
Right on. Roger, you are killing me over here with the Ford hate.
You know,
I might as well be dealing with KR right now, you know?
You don't want to do that.
No, definitely not.
But, you know, we do got to give a shout out also to one of our fellow colleagues, Rick Hammond, having a beautiful son the other day. Chris, have you got to meet the little fella? I know it's the pandemic and, you know, we might have to stay away for a little bit.
Yeah, because of the pandemic, unfortunately, I haven't met him in person yet. Of course, I've seen plenty of pictures. And congratulations going out to Rick and Jody Hammond having their son last week. And man, by the pictures, he's a good-looking kid. I'm not sure if he's actually Rick's.
Well, the funny thing is, you guys said that about my son, too.
Well, it's true, though. You know, and your son is beautiful, too. Don't get me wrong, Roger, but man... maybe it's because I know I'm going to meet this kid at some point after this pandemic rounds out. But he holds a little bit of a special spot in my heart. And look at the size difference, Roger. I'm looking at the pace car, that Ford Mustang, beautiful Ford Mustang. Compared to those midgets, the size difference is very, very evident. These cars out here ready to race tonight, they're tiny, guys. This is the starters group. And we are ready to start here. Just about 3/4 of a lap to go before we hit the green.
Yeah, next time by, we're going to drop the green flag here tonight. It will be 25 laps the distance, 6 drivers to see if they can round. I guess we can call this... We're going to call it round 2 either way.
Round 2.
We're going to have to call it round 2. It's the second time that a lot of these kids have taken to the track. Pace car ready to dive in. Put 25 laps on the board, waiting for the green flag here in Bristol. And there it is, off and running. There they go. The 3 of Snare going to get a good start. And it's a little bit of a checkup towards about the mid-pack there. But we are green flag racing down turn number 1 for the first time here.
Dylan Greenaway is your... defending champion right now, sitting in 4th spot. Up front, though, it is the 3 of Mitchell Snare, and Snare holding a steady line as he enters turns 3 and 4, going across the start-finish line for the first time into 1 and 2.
It's not the first time the STP car has been to the front of the field here tonight, but it is the first time in this race. The first lap will be led by Snare, but RJ Hancock will follow right behind that STP car this time by about call it a Legends length here at Bristol.
Yep. And RJ Hancock doing a good job staying on the bumper of the race leader, Michael Snare. RJ Hancock goes up high just a little bit, trying to find a line here at Bristol.
Yeah, can he get the run here out of turn number 4 as they come onto the front stretch? You see off the back bumper bar here of Snare. It's going to stay the same distance down into turn number 1 and 2. RJ not able to close the gap, maybe a little bit that time down the backstretch. It might be the inches game here tonight. It is a 3-car runaway here tonight at Bristol. It's Snare, Hancock, and Littleton, and then Greenaway just a little bit farther back here in that 15 machine. Maybe just lurking in the background, about a 1-second deficit from Greenaway to the leader of Snare.
Yeah, 1.3 is deficit from 1st to 4th. Hannah Mefford sitting in 5th. And Cue Ball Cox sitting in in the 57 sixth spot. And Roger up front, we got RJ Hancock looking for a line, trying to find a way to close up that gap between first and himself. RJ Hancock doing strong in second spot.
Yeah, RJ was all over the back of the 3 there of Snare last time by. This time, a little bit of a breathing room for the driver of the 3. So far, he has led all 6 laps in the beginning of this race, but Hancock all over the back bumper, and Littleton has now caught up. It is definitely a 3-horse race here at Bristol. This time by to be 18 more laps to figure out who wins round number 2.
Snare, Hancock, and Littleton, your top 3. And Littleton in third spot, trying to close the gap, trying to become part of the battle here for first spot. Right now, RJ Hancock just trying to find a line, Roger. Trying to find a line to get around the leaders. We got some blinking going on.
Yeah, that's Cameron Littleton there in the Hot Wheels number 80. As, RJ got to go up the track. That's going to open up the door for Littleton. Littleton will take the second position, and he will now set his sights on the number 3 of Snare. Will Littleton be able to defend and hold off Hancock while putting the pressure to the 3? Here comes the 4 down the backstretch into 3. He is right there once again.
We've got some comments out in chat saying, hey, maybe the 4 is going to get it. The 4 sitting in third spot. That's RJ Hancock being patient on the attack. Right now sitting in third spot, but definitely closing the gap. The 4 of RJ Hancock sitting in third spot. Closes in the distance just a little bit, and we're going to call it, like you said, Roger, a midget's distance, maybe inches, but now on the back bumper heading into 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's a 3-car breakaway. It looks like Cue Ball Cox right now is sitting in the 5th spot. She is off the pace just a tad. It looks like she is about 5 seconds behind the leader. Right in front of her is going to be Hannah Medford in the 83. Dylan Greenaway is sitting in the 4th spot. But those 3 at the front of the field, they are locked together. It's not a drafting track. These cars don't really, per se, draft like a lot of cars here on iRacing do. These cars are meant for little short tracks. This is probably one of the biggest tracks that you can run these legends on and be really competitive, as you see the 4 of RJ trying to work over the 80 of Littleton. He just cannot find a way around him. This track here tonight, it is definitely a bottom feeder with these legends.
Yeah, RJ Hancock went to the outside. No love there as he falls back in line. Cameron Littleton sitting in second spot, trying to work both sides of the car, looking at the rear view mirror and out of the windshield. RJ Littleton in second spot, trying to hold on, trying to figure out a way around Snare.
Yeah, as you ride on board here with RJ Hancock, you can see it's a real nice, steady, smooth wheel as we have 10 to go. It'll be 9 laps to go next time by. About 5 miles of racing here tonight.
Unbelievable driving these kids are doing. Roger, let's keep in mind these kids are, well, because of Dylan, we're going to say 13 and up. These kids have not spun. They have not done anything wrong. They're doing a good job. They're holding their line, and look out for Hannah Medford last time by a 17.
Car sideways
989.
going into turn number 1. Your leaders are going to have to dodge it. RJ's going to go sideways in 1 and 2. He is going to loop the 4-car here tonight, so it will be a 3-car battle at the front of the field. Hannah Medford was turned around in turn number 1, and RJ just had to take evasive actions and lost the handle. But Chris, he gets it pointed in the right direction. Though he's not going to be in contention for the win here tonight, it's still an impressive drive for the driver of the 4.
Yeah, top 3 now, Snare, Littleton, and Greenaway. And I'll tell you what, man, Dylan Greenaway doing a
Contact
good
for your leader.
Goes around. Upside down goes the leader of Mitchell Snare. And Cameron Littleton takes over the lead, Roger. Dylan Greenaway second. Cue Ball Cox picks up third.
Yeah, and Cue Ball going to go around here before the corner. She is going to spin it to the inside. She is going to loop it around. She keeps her foot in it. She's doing donuts here tonight either way.
Cameron Littleton in the 80 Hot Wheels car, getting it done with 5 laps to go here from Bristol.
Yeah, just over 2 miles of racing left as Littleton has now been the recipient of 2 incidences out there on track. So Littleton has get 4 laps to go this time by. And Chris, It wasn't looking good for Dylan Greenaway a handful of laps ago. Right now, he finds himself 6 seconds back, running all by himself in that second position.
Running by himself in second spot, Dylan Greenaway looking to, he avoids, goes down on the apron, trying to avoid the car pointing in the wrong direction here in Bristol. But Dylan Greenaway, last week's winner, and remember, Roger, last week we didn't separate the cars. We didn't separate the drivers by age. Dylan Greenaway, if he can come up with a second spot tonight, what a finish that would be for Dylan Greenaway. Way better than anything his dad has ever done.
Well, this time by for Cameron Littleton, it was popsicle sticks back in the air. This time by as he comes out of turn number 4. It will be 1 lap to go here at the last Great Coliseum. Round 2 is coming to a close. White flag waves here in Bristol.
Round 2 is coming to a close. Cameron Littleton, your race leader. Dylan Greenaway, Mitchell Snare, your top 3. And as we come to a close, let's remember we've got round 3 coming up very, very soon.
Yeah, now to turn 4. Checkered flag is in the air. Cameron Littleton is going to win round 2 here tonight at the last Great Coliseum. Dylan Greenaway is going to come across the line, shown in the second spot. I believe Mitchell Snare is going to be shown in the third spot. He tried coming back there, just was not able to quite catch up. And it's going to be R.J. Hancock in that 4 machine in the 4th spot. Hannah Medford is shown in 5th, and Q-Ball Cox going to spin her around a couple times, but comes back to finish in the 6th position.
Look at the donuts that Cameron Littleton is throwing down. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, it seems like he may have practiced those a time or two.
I guess so. That's amazing. Good stuff coming out of Cameron Littleton in the 80 car, your race winner here tonight. That Hot Wheels car on fire.
Yeah, and as he celebrates, he just kind of parks it there on the front stretch. Your post-race show coming up here tonight, presented by Evidence-Based Mommy Littleton, gonna win the first time out there here with the Racing for a Cause family night. So congratulations to Cameron Littleton. Dylan Greenaway, last week's winner, is gonna come back to finish in the 2nd position. So it's congratulations to Dylan, and Mitchell Snare is gonna round out the top 3. Chris, last week it was Greenaway. This week it's Littleton.
Yeah, Littleton doing an incredible job. Dylan doing a very good job too, coming in 2nd spot. And I'll tell you, the top 3 drivers doing a fantastic job here tonight. Roger, this has been a lot of fun, but remember, we've got one more race to go here tonight. The Significant Others coming up soon.
Yeah, the Significant Others will be coming up. Let's take a quick peek at the time. It is here on the East Coast. It is about 10 minutes of 9 o'clock. Tune back in right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network as Chris and I will be back on the call at 9:25 Eastern Time. You don't want to miss it. If you thought the first 2 rounds with the kids, the younger kids, you know, the kids that were 5 to 13 and 13 and up that you just saw out there on track, now it's going to be a whole new ball games for these cool kids and kittens out there. It's going to be the Significant Others. Chris, it's a little bit different format. It's going to be 35 laps, and yellow flags will count in the next one. And single file restarts, to throw in another monkey wrench from last week.
Yeah, single file restarts, yellow flags will count for those Significant Others. But man, what a race we just watched here, Roger. These kids are really pouring it on. They really have figured out this iRacing deal. And you know, this is the future of iRacing. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds.
Well, we'll find out here just in a little bit. Remember, Cameron Littleton is your winner here tonight with Dylan Greenaway there in 2nd. Snare finishes 3rd, Hancock in 4th, Medford is 5th, Q-Ball Cox rounds out the top of the field. We look forward to having you back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network in just a little bit with round number 3.